Hey YouTube, welcome to another video. In this episode, I'll show you how to replace your existing TP-LINK gateway with another gateway. So the general steps will be the same whether you want to replace with an exact model or whether you want to upgrade or whether you want to downgrade your existing gateway. There will be a minor modification on the step between replacing with the same model versus different model, and I will show you that in the step-by-step guide. This is my ER-7206. In this video, we will replace this with an ER-8411. So this is an upgrade. The steps can also be applied to when I have an ER-8411 and I'm going to downgrade to an ER-7206. And if I'm going to replace this ER-7206, let's say it became defective, and I would like to replace it with the exact same model, there will be a minor modification, and I'll show you that in the steps. And if I have an ER-605, let's say this is an ER-605, I'm going to upgrade to an ER-7206, it's exactly the same steps. Just a word of caution and warning. Before you do any type of upgrading or replacing of your gateway, whether it's the same model, downgrade or upgrade, always make sure that your features are going to be compatible, or it should be at least have the minimum requirements that you need for your network. Again, a word of warning, when you are doing any type of replacement, make sure to research the features and capabilities of your gateway, especially if it's a different model. Always make sure that the features that you're going to transfer is available on the replacement gateway. Okay, so the idea came for me to create a video because I have seen a beta firmware from TP-LINK community, and I figured I'd create a video because some may not know how to do the replacement. I just want to clarify, I don't have the beta firmware installed on my ER-8411. I'm still at version 1.0.2. It's a pretty old firmware. It's not really compatible with this one. But I just want to share this video to show you the steps and also the pitfalls or what to look out for when you're going to transition from one gateway to another. Like I said, I'm not using any beta firmware, so that means my ER-7206 is not compatible with ER-8411. The ER-8411 is going to have this beta firmware. If you're interested to try this out, you can do that just like with any other beta. Just do note that it is under testing and it might not be resolving all your issues, or it might introduce new issues. And you can find the official post and updates in the TP-LINK official forum. But before we continue with the discussion and with the video, I just want to ask for your help that if you find this episode helpful and useful, please subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell to help the channel. For those who have already done so, thank you so much for your support. Okay, so to alleviate any confusion you may have in the forums about how hard or easy the steps are, the pain level is actually dependent on the current IP scheme of the gateway, the ER-7206 in this particular video. Replacing an OMADA gateway can be quick and easy, like in this video, or it can be easy and a little more involved. So for this video, I'll be showing the quick and easy version of the replacement process. This means that my gateway is using the default IP scheme of 192.168.0.1. In the future episodes, I will cover the easy version of the replacement process. It just means that the gateway to be replaced is not using the default 192.168.0.1 IP scheme. Okay, so let's do a quick review of the setup. So as you can see here, I have the ER-7206 with version 1.3.0. I have a switch and I have an access point. We are not going to touch the switch or the access point in here, but let's just look at the port configuration. Just want to show you how it's currently set up. So none of this will be changed since we're not going to touch the switch. So let's go check the other settings. So for the wired networks, you will notice that I have dual 1 in the SFP1 and the 1 ports. Okay, so I have dual 1. And for the LAN ports, if you have been following my series for the new generation LAN configuration and the next generation LAN configuration, you'll be very familiar with the number of VLANs that I already have in here. Okay, so can see here, I think the last one is 94 or 95. Yeah, 94 remote. Okay, so let's just do that. For the wireless networks, there are already existing SSIDs in here. I'm not gonna touch this one. I'm just going to show you. This will not be affected. So wired networks, the LAN definition will not be affected. For the wireless networks, the Wi-Fi definitions will not be affected. However, for the network security, the ACLs, this is one of those things that you need to make sure are compatible between your models. If it's you're replacing an exactly same model with exactly the same firmware, then there shouldn't be any issue. But like this one in this example, I'm replacing an ER-7206 with an ER-8411, and I know for a fact that ER-8411 doesn't support a LAN to LAN direction. I expect this LAN to be affected. However, the switch ACLs should be okay, should be good to go, so as well as the EAP ACLs. So there might be some settings in the firewalls and transmissions based on your configuration that might be affected as well. So make sure you check those functionalities. Again, big word of warning. Make sure that the features that you're looking for is going to be available in the replacement gateway, whether you are upgrading, downgrading, or replacing a different version. And let's just look at the clients in here. You can see here I have my playbox, I have my AdGuard server, I have my IoT server, the client. So I have a VLAN 90, I have a VLAN 80. Okay, so I can ping test this one. I'll go to VLAN 60 or 70 and ping this machine here. And I have here Pi machine and Pi desktop. Okay, so let's do. Okay, so let's try it again here. So I'm connecting to Pi machine and Pi desktop. Okay. Okay, and let's try pinging the AdGuard server. That should work because I'm in the admin, admin to home. This should be good. Okay. But I shouldn't be able to ping the 80.100 in there. Because that is in the inter-VLAN group. Yep, I cannot ping that one. And I think if I transfer this cable here, I should be able to. Now that I transferred the cable to that VLAN, I am able to ping it. But let me get this again, and I'm going to bring it back here to the admin. Oops. Okay, so let's go with the configuration now. So the very first thing that you need to make sure is back up your network configuration. Make sure you back up your network configuration. Okay, once you have your network configuration backup, the next thing that you need to do is make sure that your admin PC is connected to the controller directly. Not to the switch, not to the gateway, but to the controller directly. Okay, so like this one, this is my PC. You must be physically connected in here. Another thing is make sure that your OC controller, OC300 or OC200, is directly connected to the gateway that you are replacing. If it's not connected there, maybe it's connected to the switch, remove it and plug it into one of the existing ports of your gateway. Okay, so those are the requirements. So first, back up your network configuration in case of things going wrong, going haywire. At least you can always go back. Second, make sure that your admin PC is connected to the OC300. Okay, make sure that your admin PC is in the admin VLAN as well. The third one is make sure your OC300 is connected to the gateway that you're going to replace. Let me go back to the switch again. Let me just reiterate what I said. Okay. So again, the very first thing that you need to do, back up your network configuration. Okay, back up your network configuration. I cannot stress that enough. And then second, make sure your admin PC is connected to the OC300 directly, and it should have an admin VLAN IP address. The third requirement is that your OC300 or OC200 or your software controller must be directly connected to one of the gateway ports. Okay, so that is a requirement. So those are the pre-requirements that you must have before you proceed with the actual transition and actual steps. Okay, so let me switch back to the desktop. For the actual steps, you have to click your gateway, then go to config, and just bring that up, click manage device, okay, and then forget, okay, make sure you see forget operation succeeded in here, do a quick refresh in here just to be sure, and it's gone. Okay, so remove your switch and your OC300 controller. Okay, so this is my OC300 controller and I already removed it. This box is an out of the box device. I actually do a factory reset in this one, but make sure that this box is not yet pre-configured. So this is a factory reset or factory default or out of the box system, and it's completely powered up. When you're connecting your OC300 or OC200 or your controller to the new gateway, always choose the rightmost port. It's usually for TPLINK, the rightmost port is the LAN port. Okay, so click that one. Plug that one in there. Okay, so you can see in here. So now you can also try to connect your switch just besides it. Okay, or you can do it later on, but connecting it here should be good as well. So now again, for the TP-Link gateway, the rightmost is almost always the LAN ports, and then the leftmost is almost always the WAN port, your internet provider. So I'm going to transfer one of the WAN port in here, okay, and I don't want to transfer the other one in here, okay, this one, the black one, the Comcast, because I'm not sure whether this is LAN and it might provide an IP addresses in here as well. So maybe they are in the same VLAN. So just to be sure, just configure this leftmost, just plug it in there, and then your rightmost, just plug your OC300 to the rightmost, and if you have the backbone switch like this one, I usually plug it to the second one, okay, to the second rightmost. And I should probably have internet now. There you go, yep. As you can see here, if you look at the bottom here, I have an internet access now. Okay, so you will also notice that there is a word pending in here, okay, and you can see it's connected, and pending. And let's try our internet. There you go. It's just in.com, but okay, it's a little bit slow, and that's okay. And let's do Reddit. There you go. And let's do Yahoo again just for kicks of it. And there you go, we have internet access right now. So out of the box you have internet access, and it's ready for adoption. So remember what I say about the different step between upgrade and downgrade versus same model replacement. So for the same model replacement, your next step is actually just click adapt in here. However, since this is a different version, it's an ER-7206 versus an ER-8411, when I try to do this, I will get an error. And I'll show you the error so that you know what to expect. I'm just showing you the error that you will get once you adapt it. You will be encountered by this error, okay? This gateway model is different from the gateway model configured in the one setting overrides. Please go to wired networks, blah, 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 and then click OK. So what you need to do is go to settings, go to wired networks, and then you have to go here, and then you have to select your model ER-8411. So you can select your SFP1 LAN in here as well. I'm only going to use one LAN 4 and one LAN 5, but I'm selecting all of this for one anyway as well. The most important thing is one LAN 4 and one LAN 5, because these are the two ports, okay? And then later on I can plug this one in here once I completely configured it. So I'm skipping this and the USB port. So click next. Now you can see here, hey, you have your existing one SFP1 port, which is this one and then this one, right? So the SFP, I actually transfer it to one LAN 4. So I just plug it there and then one LAN. And now go there, SFP to one LAN 4, and then 1 to one LAN 5. Click next. Okay, and again, this one, the most important are the two ends in here. Okay, two ends. So we'll focus on this one. Just select everything here. Okay, and if you like, you can do the rest as well, just for the kicks of it. Oh, what's happening? There you go. So what you're saying is, hey, the configuration of these two ports apply to all the ports in here, from here to here. So that's what we're saying here. So click apply, and then there you go. Now, since we have that set up like that already, you can see here one LAN 4 and one LAN 5. Now I can transfer this one because I know for a fact that this one is now a one port. Okay. And let's look at the lag error message. Just for the kicks to fit. And you can see here we failed to adapt this gateway. And that's okay because that is to be expected. Now we can adapt it properly. So it says pending. Then when we click adapt, it should go well. So notice the time, it's 9:54 p.m. Florida time, EST. I clicked adapt, and then I will start pinging google.com/t. So this will be your debug console because this one takes time, and that's the reason why I took note of the time in here. And you will see some settings in here of the activities here. You can see configuring, okay, and you will see some activities in here where it's going to drop the connection and then reboot and then drop the connection again and then reboot and then stabilized. Okay, the key thing that you need to watch out for is don't get out of this console, but don't worry about it taking a bit of time as well. Just look at this, wait for it until it's stabilized. The key thing that you need to watch out for is all of this should show connected from the top to the secondary switch to the access point. All of your OMADA devices should show connected, and then your ping should be stabilized for at least a couple of minutes, and then now you can say it's successful. So you can see here it says it's request timeout, it says it's configuring in here, and sometimes you will see heartbeat missed or disconnected on these devices as well. And that's alright because if you look at the video in here, my OMADA is connected to the gateway, the switch is connected to the router. If the if the switch and the access point, which is in turn connected to the switch, if the OC300 cannot see it because the gateway is rebooting, then it will show that the heartbeat is missed. Okay, so that is okay. So errors showing here for both of these two are normal, or any of your access point or any of your OMADA switches. So that is completely normal. Okay. Okay, so as you can see here, it's request timeout. It's 9:56 in here. A minute, 2 minutes has passed already, but it's looking good. It says it's configuring, and I can hear this gateway fan revving, and that's when I know that it's rebooting. Okay. And if you feel like, hey, this is taking some time, maybe the page is not being updated, you can click refresh. And you can see here, heartbeat missed. That's okay, because like I said, if it reboots, then the controller will not be able to see the switch and the access point. Okay, so just be patient. So long as you can see this one is configuring and it's not always adapting, and it gets stuck, that's okay. Of course, if this is configuring for like 30 minutes, that's also not okay. But what I'm saying is in the first few minutes, and especially if you can see something happening in here in your console, it means this gateway and the OMADA controller are doing something, configuration, testing, however what the process might be, the internal process. And you can see it replies, but again, don't be fooled by this reply. It's not fully up yet. Still doing its thing. As you can see, if you ignore this and you just, hey, I'm replying already, now I can go back to my usual stuff and go to internet and surf. No, not necessarily, because again, it still doesn't show everything as connected. So everything must show connected in here, and your ping should be stabilized. As you can see here, it's not stabilized again because the OC300 and the gateway are still communicating and doing its magic. I don't know what's happening, so I'm just calling it magic. Okay, so it's 9:58. It's been 4 minutes already, and you can see there is an intermittent reply and request timeout in between. Okay. So again, request timeout. We just need it to be more stable of saying reply. So now we can see both of these devices are connected. Okay, so that means the OC300 can see your switch and your access point again. So that's good. That's really looking good. Now we're waiting for the ER-8411 to fully finish its configuration. As you can see, there's a little bit of changes in there, meaning something is happening between the OC, between the controller and the gateway. Okay. So it's 4 minutes already. 4 minutes have passed, and we're still waiting until everything has stabilized. Okay, so you can see there's a request time not there again. There's one there. Okay, so 5 minutes have passed. So once 5 minutes have passed, we can see, forcefully refresh the page and check if everything is okay. Still configuring, so okay, still configuring, no big deal. Okay, so we'll just continue to wait. I'll have 1 more minute to pass before I forcefully do a refresh again, just to see everything has stabilized. As you can see, I have internet fully set up now and fully up and running. I haven't gotten, as you can see, this reply from google.com. That is looking good, right? So now it's 6 minutes have passed. Let me do a forced refresh again. Now it's connected. There you go. It's done. Everything is up and running. It's been up for 2 minutes now. Okay, the router has been up for 2 minutes and everything is running. So we know that we have internet in here for a fact, because you can ping google.com. Okay, but let's just do the internet again. There you go. And then let's do CNN. CNN has been a little bit slow. There you go. And you go reddit.com. There you go. And let's do AR-7206.com just for kicks. There you go. Okay, so let's see the error log again in here just to make sure. So we see that one LAN 4 is down, one LAN 5 is down. This is failed to adapt, and you can see all the timing in here. So from the time that we adapted and do the steps, it took us 10 minutes actually. 10 minutes to do everything. Okay, so archive all. So now we're going to review what has been affected. But let's go with settings and let's look at the VPN. I lost the OpenVPN. I remember I have OpenVPN set up in here. That was the last video that I created. So I lost the OpenVPN. How about the user? So I lost the OpenVPN user as well. How about the WireGuard? So I lost the WireGuard as well. Okay, I created this is the same system setup that I have to set up the WireGuard. So we lost the WireGuard setup as well. Okay, so for the ACL, we lost 3 ACLs. We lost 3 ACLs. For the switch ACL, we didn't lose any. For the EAP ACL, we didn't lose any. So as you can see, this is the danger of replacing with a different model or with different gateway that is not compatible with all the functionalities. This is what's going to happen. So like I said, make sure you back up your settings. Okay. Okay, switch ACL, EAP ACL. Okay. Okay, but I should be able to connect to the system as well. Still, yes. But now I lost the one-way connection from admin to the home network, and home network can now see my PC. So I'll just create another ACL for that one. So no biggie. No big. Let's see if I can ping the inter VLAN. It shouldn't be able to ping the inter VLAN, which is the 80.100. Okay, it still cannot see the client there, but I remember it 80.100. So you can see here it's a quest timeout. I'm going to transfer this to one of the ports here. It should work. There you go. Working now. So let's see devices. Let's see the configuration here of port 6. I cannot connect to the controller, so this is an expected behavior because VLAN 60, 70, 80, and 90 doesn't really have access to the admin VLAN. Okay, so I don't really have access to the admin VLAN. So if I do here, I will lose access to the 80.100, but I should be able to gain access in here. Okay. Come on, there you go. So now what I can look at the devices. Okay, let's go client devices. So as you can see, there's the 80.100. Then let's go devices. Let's check the configuration of the port 6. That's port 5. Port 5 is actually in VLAN 60, and then port 6 is in VLAN 80. This is where the client is connected. Okay, so this one is connected to port 680, and we connected to port 5 for admin for testing, and this belongs to the inter VLAN group, which allows my admin PC to connect to the this machine. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, be careful when doing all this transition, but be watchful, be wary of how it's going to affect your settings. So just back up your configurations, your users, your passwords, your customers' passwords. So watch out for those things. Okay, so if you learned something from this video, please give it a like. If you don't like this video, please give it a dislike, and do let me know what you don't like about the video. And again, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for clicking that notification bell button. It really helps the channel a lot, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you. See you again. Bye bye.